In this video, we're going to look at amplitude and midline of a sine wave. So here I am at this site desmos.com, which if I just go to that and show you, I can just click graphic calculator, or I can just do /calculator in the URL to begin with. When I get here, you can see I have a graph, and over here is where I'm going to enter things. So I could enter something simple like sine of x, and it looks fine, but what we should do is we should actually change this to using degrees. So go up here to the wrench, the graph settings, change it to degrees. Now it doesn't really look right because we're using degrees, which this only goes from -10 to 10, but there are 360 degrees in a circle. So for the x-axis, go from negative, I don't know, 1,000 to 1,000, and that will look right. So what happens here, if you just tap on this, you notice it'll put some points on it for you, 0, 0. And then 360, 0. So every 360 degrees, this thing goes up and down. It just repeats itself over and over again. Think about going around the circle. Same thing goes up here at 720, and then it would again at 1080, so every 360 degrees. So what we can do is we can modify the amplitude of this. So let's just put in capital letter A here, and it will prompt us to add a slider for A. When you add a slider, it gets the default value of 1, and it says go from -10 to 10. If you want to change the value, you can use the slider, and you can see the amplitude. If I make the amplitude 0, the wave is completely flat, and if I make the amplitude 0.1, it's pretty small. I can go all the way up to 5.8, maybe even 6. Notice amplitude of 6 means it's going to go up 6 units from where it started. So if this is the center, then it goes up 6 units from there, and it goes down to -6. If you want to change anything about the slider, you can just click on it. Suppose you want it to go from -40 to 40, and you don't want it to do any decimals, you just want it to go by ones. So you could just put it in like this, and now it'll just go by ones. Unfortunately, you're way off the screen, so maybe that's not what you want. Maybe you actually want from -8 to 8, and 0.1 is fine. So you can go from there. You can also animate it by clicking the play button, which is pretty fun, especially when you can set up multiple animations at the same time. You'll notice that when amplitude goes into the negatives, the wave flips over. So if it's positive, it starts off sort of here going up, and if it's negative, it starts over here going down. Not that big a deal for this class, just something to notice is it's making all the values negative, and if they're already negative, then it's negative of a negative, which means it becomes a positive again. So let's put another slider for the midline, so let's just do +m here. So the sine function is multiplied by the amplitude, add the midline at the end. So same thing here, the midline starts at 1 from -10 to 10. You can see when we slide this, it just goes up and down however much we want. And we could play both of these if we want to and get an animation of a wave doing strange things. It's actually kind of fun to watch. But that's pretty much all there is to it. Sine of x is your basic function. The amplitude is multiplied by that out front, and you do +m at the end.